Welcome to Followed by Mercy with Austin Gardner. This is where we talk about God's grace and mercy that meets us and follows us even in our lowest moments and lifts us to hope again. No matter what's been broken, His love still heals. So let's move from pain to praise together, because surely goodness and mercy does follow me and pursue me all the days of my life. Arriving home from the hospital in COVID was a wild and crazy time. I was so excited to be back home. My son and his family, Katie and 3 children, had been locked in Peru. And Peru is one of the most, um, how would you put it, severely affected countries in the world. People have been dying. The city was in lockdown. You couldn't go to the store. You couldn't drive your car. One of you could go out at a time. My son David would actually put on a backpack and walk several miles to the grocery store to buy groceries, because that's just the way things were. And he had had to get emergency American, government embassy special flight out for his family. And God's people came through and helped in a great way to make that a possibility. And so he came home. And I'm on my way home from the hospital. Now, my son has come home from Peru. Things are bad in Peru, but in a lot of ways, it's like maybe dad's going to die. You got to bear in mind, everybody has no idea if I'm going to live. I've lost my strength. I've been making very short trips walking in the hospital with my walker. And I was being scolded sometimes when I was lazy, because you got to push. I came home. The hospital set up a therapy. People came to my house to give me therapy, to do exercise, to walk. And I began walking every day. I had grown a full beard, the longest I've ever had a beard, I guess, and because my wife doesn't like beards. And so I came home, and I had no idea, but I stunk to high heaven. My son David, when I wasn't watching, would cover his nose. He opened windows because I hadn't had a bath in 30 days. They'd let this part on my cheek that you can see on the YouTube video. I think you can see that. They'd left it stuck on there so long it had eaten almost all the way through to my teeth. I hadn't had a bath. Maybe they did some spare bathing, but the stench was unbearable. And so I don't know that. I don't smell me. I've been laying like this for a month and I have no idea. I do know this. I dreamed of getting in a hot shower. What I don't know is I can hardly stand up. I can hardly walk, and showering in hot water is extremely weakening to the body. So several things happened over the next few days. My daughter, Joy, cut my hair, and my son ends up shaving my beard off, and my wife helps me take a shower. I have to sit down because I can't stand up. And we had a chair in the bathroom in the shower, and I couldn't stand up. And here's more humiliation. But I got down, and Betty hadn't thought to raise the chair up, and I couldn't stand back up, and I was too heavy for her to raise. And so here I am, a grown man. My son has to come in the bathroom and literally pick up my soaking wet, naked body. That was embarrassing. So slowly the grime, and my skin is covered in like what a baby gets when it has, when it's got dandruff and when you haven't washed the hair. And I've got that all over my body, and I smell, and it took several baths to clean up all the mess that was going on in my life. I stink. Now people are starting to come by and see me, but every day I start walking and working. So they had told me that they kind of gave me some instructions, and I love a challenge. And so I put uh, on the mantle, I put a number, and I don't remember if we were counting down or counting up, but I knew exactly how long they said I should be able to get back to it. And every day my grandchildren would change that number, and to help me keep encouraged. and God blessed miraculously. I was walking, I was moving, I was exercising, though extremely weak. I couldn't sit up in bed. One night, I'd been taking the walker and going to the bedroom, and I got all the way to the bedroom, and my wife is helping me, and I am maybe 2 inches off of where I should be, and when I try to sit on the bed, I fall on the floor, and she sends her leg up under me real quickly. I'm just in my underwear. I know, embarrassing. I know, TMI, but what am I going to do? And she sticks her leg under there, and she starts hollering for one of the kids. And my son-in-law came and literally manhandled me and picked me up and put me back in bed. That was embarrassing. I have been strong all my life. I've been able to take care of myself all my life, but not now, not with COVID. So I can't take a bath. I get tired brushing my teeth. I can't wash my hair. My wife's having to give me baths. My kids are cutting my hair and shaving me. And I don't know how to explain it to you. It was a very difficult time. But you know what I did? I'd walk and walk, and to get up into my pulpit where I was pastoring was 2 steps. And so I would walk to our stairs, and I would take 2 steps up and 2 steps down. Before it was over, I was climbing all the way to the top of the stairs, coming all the way back down, because I wanted to be back in the ministry. And the lady had told me in the hospital, people who know what they want to do and have a dream of what they want to do, they can usually get it. It's about your attitude. That's probably where I should end it today. It's about your attitude. First off, I thought I should have an attitude of gratitude. The most wonderful family in the world, the opportunity to be with my family. I can't explain to you how exciting and how blessed I was to have the most wonderful wife and the most wonderful children. I can't explain to you what it was like to have a very wonderful church loving me and helping me and taking care of me. God blessed so much. I can't explain to you what it was like to, even though the hospital had really kind of done a bad job on my cheek, they took care of me well, and I had recovered, and life was coming back to normal. It's an attitude. Don't give up. Don't quit. Don't whine. I have whined a lot in my life. When bad things happen to you, it's our first natural response is to whine, but that's not what we're supposed to do. It's not good to do. It doesn't help us to whine. Nobody wants to come to our pity party. And the world doesn't revolve around us. And so we want to keep that in mind at all times and keep growing. We want to be thankful to God. We want to be thankful to God that he saved us. We want to be thankful to God that he's given us life. God's been good to all of us, every one of you. Don't give up. Don't quit. Don't lay down and die. Don't just say, I've had enough of it. There have been tons of times over the last, really not with COVID so much, it's more with the cancer. We'll get to that part of the story at a later point in the story. We'll get to that. But it's amazing how you can say, I just want to die. I just want it over. And that's not a godly attitude. For me to live, to live as Christ, to die as gain. And so I should let Christ live in me, and I should continue to have a good attitude. And I don't care if you've had COVID or if you've been dealing with cancer. I haven't dealt with cancer like some of you. I haven't yet died, but I have been dealing with it nearly 14 years. And we're going to get into more of that, but I want you to trust God and look to God at what he's doing in your life. God has a plan for you, and you are important to him. I'm important. You know what? If you're a believer, you're a wonderfully blessed child of God. And you ought to just say, man, I am God's beloved. Thank the Lord. Thanks for listening to Followed by Mercy with Elsa Gardner. If today's message spoke to your heart, share it with someone who needs to know God hasn't given up on them. Remember, your pain isn't the end of your story. In Jesus, it can become praise. Thank you.